You want to see something really cool? Of course. Turn off the lights. Industrial strength night vision goggles.
Holy Santa Claus.
Welcome back to Sawtooth Tactical. This is the review video for the RIX Tactical RNV-31 dual tube night vision unit that you see here. And I've had this thing for 5 weeks now. I've used it every single night for 5 weeks. I haven't missed a night that I haven't used this, at least for a few minutes outside. Some nights quite a bit more than that. So I do feel like I can review it pretty well at this point. Now, this is about the most affordable dual tube night vision setup that you can get on the market. And there are some things that they did to reach that price point. We will talk about those. Is it worth it to get one of these for around $4,500? Or does it make more sense to save up for something much more expensive when it comes to dual tubes? Night vision is a very expensive game to get into. Specifically, if you want to get into dual tube, white phosphor night vision, the only way you're going to get anywhere close to the price of this is a used unit that you find on the secondary market. For new dual tube night vision, I mean, this is about as good as it gets cost-wise. Now, before we get deeper into the video, how did they get it at this price point? Well, I think two things mainly. They have Chinese NNVT tubes in them. Now, are those tubes going to be good enough for you, or do you need the highest spec L3 Harris tubes? We're going to talk about that. Besides that, they do have a proprietary glass. It's not mil-spec glass, and you can see that the lenses are significantly smaller on the ocular side than you see on many other night vision units. Again, is that something that's going to matter to you or not? Well, what I have found after using these for 5 weeks is I think that they're awesome, to be quite honest. Now, to be fully transparent, I don't have experience with any other higher end night vision units. But for the average gun owner, for the average enthusiast that isn't in the military, that isn't kicking down doors in the middle of the night, that isn't part of SEAL Team 6 going in to take out Osama bin Laden, are these going to be good enough for you? I think that they probably are. So the more I've gotten to use these, I feel like they do everything that I want a night vision unit to do, especially at the price point. So the biggest barrier to entry with night vision is that price point. I mean, you're looking at 10 grand for dual tubes, 8,000, whatever, you know, and then when you put together a helmet setup, a laser aiming module on your rifle, I mean, you're looking at a very, very expensive price to get into shooting with night vision. Well, RIX Tactical with the RNV-31 has brought that price point way down. They do have 3 models. They've got a 14 to 1600 FOM green phosphor model. That one comes in at $41.99, $4,200. This model, mine is the one right in the middle. It's the 14 to 1600 FOM white phosphor. These come in at $46.59, although mine were a little bit over 1600 FOM. They're like 1671, 1676, I think. They did come with spec sheets for both tubes. And then they have a higher spec model, which is at 1800 to 2000 FOM white phosphor for $66.99. Now, is it worth going for tubes that aren't the highest spec tubes in the world? So you could spend more money, but I think that you get into a level of decreasing value for your money. You're going to spend a lot more money to get higher spec tubes. Is it really worth it? So the biggest difference that you'll find is in very, very low light situations, is where lower spec tubes, lower signal to noise ratio, where the tubes might struggle a little bit. But honestly, I've used these in really good lighting conditions, full moon outside, as well as I've tested them indoors in rooms with literally no light at all. And yes, you do get some noise, some fuzz there, and it is pretty dark, although just use the included IR illuminator and it seems to make everything perfectly bright and clear again. We're gonna get really deep into this unit here after a quick word from our channel partner. I'd like to thank Aura to continue sponsoring Sawtooth Tactical. They've been with me for the better part of a year now, and I've been using their service that entire time. And the best way to support Sawtooth Tactical is to sign up for Aura using my link down below. You get 2 weeks free if you use my link. It's only $12 a month after that, and they offer you a lot of stuff. I've talked many times in the past about data broker removal. Well, you've probably noticed that there are data leaks that happen. I get, notifications sometimes, oh, your password was involved in a data leak. Well, when that happens, then all of a sudden, all of your information is available to bad actors. And what they do is they find the data brokers that want to sell your information and they opt you out from those lists. But they do a heck of a lot more than just that. So, spam and junk mail removal. That was one of the biggest ones to me. I don't get spam anymore. I really appreciate that. They have an antivirus. It's all of your online security all in one place. A VPN with safe browsing. So you can be on the internet and you don't have to worry. That's really nice. They have 3 bureau credit monitoring. Again, it's good to know what your credit is doing, especially if something happens to it that wasn't your fault. It's nice to know that right away and be able to take care of it, which these guys will do for you. Scam call protection. I haven't gotten scam calls in the last 9 months, and I used to get them fairly often. And some of them sound pretty legit when they're not. I mean, obviously they're not. But I don't get those anymore ever since I've been using Aura. Password manager. I hate trying to remember 1,000 passwords, which you have to do these days if you are online at all. With Aura, you don't have to worry about that. Home title monitoring. If you own your own home, bad people can actually get your home title out from underneath you if they know what they're doing, and Aura protects you from that as well. You get all this stuff for $12 a month, but again, 2 weeks free if you use my link down below, aura.com/sawtooth-tactical. The RNV-31 does come packaged as a very premium product. Extremely nice packaging here, and inside that packaging, you get, standard stuff, instruction booklet, all that. You do get spec sheets for both of your tubes. Now they do have an RNV-14 also for a very good price, which is a single tube monocular if you're really trying to save money on night vision. You get a lens cloth, you get patches, you get stickers, and your night vision itself comes in a really nice padded case here, which is good because even at the price that the RIX Tactical RNV-31 comes in at, it is still close to $5,000 more if you get the really high spec model. So you do want to take care of it. So I do appreciate the padded case. I keep it in this all the time when I'm not using it and pull it out and clip it to my helmet when I am. Now the dovetail mount on it clicks in solidly to a G24 mount. It has very little play, if any at all. No issues there whatsoever. Now the unit itself, I think that it has pretty much all of the features that you want. So it is articulating. Articulating is a really nice feature to have. Many times when I've had them on, in fact, we'll just demonstrate really quick. When you have them on, sometimes I've found you don't necessarily want to flip them all the way up out of the way. It's nice to be able to just articulate them up and right back down when you're in the middle of doing something. The other nice thing about that is they do have auto pod shutoff. So you can enable that or decide not to use it if you want. But if you use it, when you flip a pod off to the side, that one shuts off. Or if you flip the whole unit up, it'll shut off. And so you don't have a bunch of light coming out here that could possibly give away your position if that's what you're worried about, or anything like that. They also have bright source protection. Now, that is not the same as auto gating. So auto gating is if you are, a bright light happens to come at your night vision tubes, auto gating to make it very simple, basically shuts them off for a split second so that the tubes don't get damaged. These don't have that. They have bright source protection, and I have experienced that personally. If I'll go out at night, out my front door of my house, go do whatever I'm doing under nods, I've got the gain turned all the way up, and again, it does have manual gain, which I think is a very nice feature to have. And then I come walk back toward my house. I have a glass door in the front of my house, and the lights are on inside. As I come up to that door, the bright source protection turns down the gain on my tubes so that they don't get damaged from that light. And I think that that is also a nice feature to have. And so I do run the autopod shutoff and the bright source protection full time when I'm using these. I don't see any reason not to. Neither of those features has caused me any problems, so I figure I might as well use them. Now it does run on a single AA battery. I use a lithium battery in it. Apparently you don't want to use alkaline batteries because they can possibly leak and damage your unit. Again, it is something that you want to take care of. Even though it comes in at